Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Hello, how you doing? How's it going? Anyway, my name is Pastor Ojimba Alex. You're watching Gospelfaith Television, and I've made a video today called Slavery, Take Me Away. That was part 7. But this one is called Slavery, What is Our Crime? Part 8. Because this slavery episodes that I'm doing is leading to somewhere. I'm not just making videos for the sake of making videos. I'm making these videos because they are positive messages that are leading somewhere. I'm looking at African history. I'm looking at black people's history. I'm looking at black people's transformation. I'm looking at what black people can achieve in the future. So the topic for today is slavery. What is our crime? So if somebody was to ask me here, what is the meaning of a crime? I would say a crime is something that you do that is unlawful. Something that you do that is against the law, and if you get caught in the act, you probably serve a jail sentence, you probably go to prison, you'll be persecuted for committing a crime. So there's a penalty that goes with committing a crime. So when I call the topic for today, slavery, what is our crime? In other words, I'm asking the question, what was a black man's crime to be put into slavery? Remember I gave you the definition. I said when you do something that is unlawful, you pay a penalty, you go to jail. Isn't that what I said? That's what I said. You go to jail or you go to prison because you committed a crime. You pay the price. There has to be a punishment there. Okay, so my question here is, what crime did black people commit to be put into slavery? I want to know. It's not an ambiguous question. It's an open question. What crime did black people commit to face such punishment in this life? And I'm still searching. So if anybody's got that answer, please, you can call me, you can phone me, or you can email me, or you can send me a Facebook message, because I want to know what was a black man's crime to face slavery. So the topic for today is called What's Our Crime? And I'm saying to you that before the slave masters came over to Africa, black people were living in peace. Black people were very peaceful people. I mean, look at the Africans that come over to America. Look at the Africans that come over to England. They don't fight no wars. They don't go into gangs. They go to school and they go to churches. They're very peaceful people. I know they've been stereotyped to say that a black man is this, a black man is a gangster, a black man is useless, but all these things are not true. What is a black man's true crime? So before the slave masters went over to Africa, the Africans were living in peace. They loved each other. They were not killing each other. They were not throwing each other away. They were not turning each other into commodities. They were not using derogatory language over one another. They lived in peace. Actually, they lived in perfect peace because they had everything that the world had to offer. What is it? The diamonds? Is it the gold? Is it the natural resources? It's all there. It's for the love that God had for a black man that he gave them all these gifts. It's because of the love. A black man was living in perfect harmony. You know, sometimes you see a Rasta man and they say, peace and love, peace and love. Wow, peace and love, man. Or he say, me I see peace and harmony, you know. Peace and harmony and guidance, you know. I saw me I see. You see me I see to you right now in the place. Peace and love and harmony and Chris and Corey. Wow. Yeah, say me. Yeah, say me. The Rastaman's talking about peace and harmony. Black people lived in peace and harmony before the slave master came. The slave master didn't come with peace himself. The slave master didn't come with harmony himself. Because if the slave master came with harmony himself, a black man wouldn't have ended up in chains. Am I right, cameraman? Yeah. A black man wouldn't have ended up in chains if the slave master came with peace and harmony. So what is our crime? In this act, the black man is not the criminal. Black people were living in paradise. And this is the reason why it's not black people that came over for the slave masters. You see, there's a difference. Black people didn't go over to America to go and get the slave masters to bring them over, because black people was already living in paradise. You see, it was the slave master that came over to the paradise to come and take the people and his riches. So black people were unaware of the negativity that were coming their way. You see, when the black people were living in peace, and when the black people were living in harmony, and when the black people were living in their paradise, they were unaware of the negativity that were coming their way. If they knew about the negativity that the slave master was bringing their way, they would have prepared themselves even better. They wouldn't have let this happen. They were caught unawares. Because black people have been living together for millions of years in peace and harmony, and they didn't have no problems. They didn't have no division. So the black people that were living in Africa before the slavery took place were not aware of the negativity that were coming their way. Slavery is a negativity to the black man. A black man was used. You know, like when you use a football or you wear clothes and the clothes are old, you don't want it no more. Or when you buy a chewing gum, it's so sweet and it's so delicious. And when it runs out of taste, you spit it out. Black people got the wrong end of the deal. They never knew about the negativity that were coming their way. Slavery ripped the black man's identity away. Hey! Oh, slavery, hear that again. Listen, clean your ears, get a cotton wool right now, you put it in your ears and hear this again. Slavery ripped away a black man's identity. You go to America today, you see a black man, he put on a bandana and tie it backwards like this. He's saying, yo, man, picture me on 3 lane, on a 3-way. What kind of identity is this? Or you go to England, a black man, he said, I'm born here, you know. No, don't disrespect me because I'm born in England. Listen, I'm not dealing with that. I'm born in England. Don't talk to me about Africa. I don't know what's going on over there because I'm British. Or he say, listen, Mike, I'm telling you because you don't know who you're dealing with right now. And he said, you have a little bit of change there because I want to go and get a little something to eat, like fish and chips. A black man's identity has been ripped away from him. Before the slave masters came to Africa, we were not living like this. We had absolute control and we had absolute authority of our own situations. We were not dictated to. So what I'm saying to you is like that black British man as well, when you come up to him, you say things like, no, I'm born in England blood. I'm born in England blood, yeah, because I'm British. And furthermore, I want to go and get chicken and chips worth $2.99. Listen. You don't know about your culture anymore. You don't know about your history anymore. You can't even see where you're going. Something's got to be done because slavery has ripped away a black man's true identity. Slavery stole black people away from their comfort zones. Before the slave masters came, we were very comfortable, speaking our language, doing the regular things we used to do. We were not interested in capitalism. We were not exploited. We were just living the way God wanted us to live, directly with the Heavenly Father. We were in paradise, in our comfort zone. Actually, it was just pure love. But I'm telling you today that these things have ripped us away from our comfort zone. The slave master made the black man become worthless and useless. Just like I told you, you buy that chewing gum and at first it's delicious, and when the taste is gone, you spit it out because it's useless. Slavery made a black man become worthless and useless. A black man found himself in a place that he didn't even want to be in. A black man found himself being regulated. A black man found himself being brutalized. A black man never saw his family again. A black man was castigated. Slavery has ripped us apart. Black people were stolen away from their original lands. Black people became visitors in a land where they don't even comprehend no more. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Black people were stolen away from their original homes. Black people were stolen away from their lands. Black people in America, black people in Portugal, black people in Europe, when they think of Africa, they say 400 years ago, they say, no, we can't comprehend no more. They can't comprehend no more. Something has changed. Black people's natural freedom was taken away from them. That's why the theme of this topic is called slavery. What is our crime? What is a black man's crime? Their freedom were ripped away from them. A black man couldn't even wake up in the morning and go to the shop anymore. No, you're a slave. You wake up, you find yourself in chains. A black man couldn't even watch TV no more. No, you wake up, you go to the plantation, you get whipped, you get brutalized. Your freedom is gone. Black people were being tortured. Hey, shush. Look at me, try to be like I'm your master. The slave master became the God that a black man could see. A black man couldn't even wake up in the morning anymore and look up to his God. You look up to the slave master. What's the next task? What's the next agenda? What part of the plantation are we going to today? Black people are kings and queens. A black man's happiness was replaced with grief. You know what grief means? Do you know what grief means? I'll tell you what grief means. Grief means the highest level of sadness. When I lived in the south of Italy, it was tough for me. And I stayed there, for like 2 years. And I was in a refugee camp. I used to wake up and go out. There was this woman. She was like 90 years old. Every time she used to stand in front of her house, she was full of grief. And I looked at this woman, that made me come back to England. Just seeing the woman, she didn't even have to talk to me. No. Just looking at her alone, I could see that she was in grief. The slave master didn't have the right to brutalize the slaves. They didn't have the right to do that. Black people need to take the slave masters to the judiciary courts and the Supreme Courts. Black people need to take the slave masters to the judiciary courts and the Supreme Courts. And slavery should be part of the British and American and European educational curriculum. Because of what happened to the slaves and what they went through, the way they were brutalized, they should take the slave masters to the judiciary courts and the Supreme Courts around the world. You've been watching Gospelfaith Television. Cameraman, I'm running out of time. God bless you. The topic for today is called, what is our crime? What is a black man's crime? What is our crime? Tell me. Gospelfaith Television wants to know, what is our crime? what is our crime? Tell me. Okay.